Hello, everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Girls Frontline, episode 11. Okay, yeah, a little bit technical issues. Episode 11. Man, it's hard to believe that we are already nearing the endings of every single series that I'm watching. Right, episode 11 of Girls Frontline, episode 11 of Sabikui Bisco. It's gonna be coming soon. Tokyo 24 Ku is a little bit behind. Adifureta is a little bit behind. Symphogear Season 1 I already completed. If you wanna watch it early, then you can head to my Patreon. Episode 12 has already been released like the day before yesterday on Patreon. And the finale is gonna be released tomorrow? I think so. Yeah, so if you want to watch Symphogear early, head over to my Patreon. But let's not talk about Symphogear, let's talk about those Frontline. I have no idea how they're gonna end it. We only have 2 episodes left. I'm assuming the fight with Dreamer will be the culmination of the entire series. This will be the grand finale, but I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you. And then again, the anime can't really have a proper ending because the game is still ongoing, right? And the game will probably not end unless they pull the plug, which I hope they don't because it's a really good game. And they're making Girls Frontline 2, which is an XCOM kind of game, so they must be doing well, right? Yeah, in the last episode, our AR squad is heading towards the Dreamer's base. AR-15 is also headed there alone because apparently she has a huge anime hero, anime shonen protagonist complex, and she wants to be the one to save the world and whatnot. So of course she's going there all by her lonesome. And what's the most interesting is even humans are going there. Kryuger and his merry bunch, wearing those weird blast suits and whatnot, are also headed there to retrieve AR-15. Hope not. No, not retrieve AR-15. What am I talking about? To defeat Dreamer, I'm assuming. They had a little bit of a scuffle with the AR squad for some reason. Apparently, Kruger was testing them, but I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, it seems like we are slowly headed towards some sort of a final showdown against the Dreamer, and I can't help but wonder where does it go and how exactly does it end. We also got into those more, how should I say it, more ephemeral themes, I guess you could say, into the themes of what are emotions? Are emotions a defect? Are emotions necessary? Are they an asset, maybe? Right? The personalities. We got into the whole almost the does this unit have a soul territory. And I'm all for it. I don't think they will be able to capitalize on that in just those 2 episodes, but maybe they will. Hell, who knows? Maybe those 2 episodes will be just the battle with Dreamer, and it will be simply spaced out with some of the more existential stuff. Maybe. I don't know. The only way to make sure what's gonna happen is to watch the episode, right? So, how about we do just that? Here you, here you have some subs. Yeah, I'm gonna get some sound, and we can start watching episode 11 of Those Frontline, aka Girls Frontline. Am I out of focus? Now I am in focus. Yeah, episode 11 of Girls Frontline, version by subs, please, as always, is gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, everything's working. We're good. Right, last time on Dragon Ball Z. Right, there was also the attack by Dreamer on them. And we did discover that those new weapons aren't of Sangvis Ferri making, or at least they aren't of the old Sangvis Ferri making, they are of the making of the Tidos of Sangvis Ferri, which sets a dangerous precedent. For all they know, you already kinda did by going off on your own. Oh, Persica! We're getting a little bit of a backstory. Okay. Is this gonna be a flashback episode? Is it gonna give us a background on AR-15, M4A1, and perhaps even the rest of the AR squad? Would be kinda cool. Provided, of course, they were to focus on the more mysterious aspects of them, not just a slice of life between them and how AR-15 hated M4A1, but then M4A1 saved her life or said something profound, and now she was in love and whatnot, right? That would be kind of boring, not gonna lie. So hopefully they're not gonna go there, but we'll see. Right, I'm also still very much interested in M16. Is this M16? I think it is made M16. What's the deal with her eye patch? And what's the deal with this hunk of metal she carries on her back? I have a feeling the former might be because one of her eyes was replaced with a Sangvis technology eye. I still firmly believe in that theory. And the hunk of metal on her back? Probably a rocket launcher. I have a feeling it might be a rocket launcher. True. I mean, even purely from a pure, utilitarian perspective, not having your titles destroyed is better than having them destroyed. You don't have to spend resources on creating new titles. You don't have to spend resources retrieving their bodies. You don't have to risk technology and intel leaking out. You don't have to waste time on restoring their memories and whatnot. Q sang this attack or not? Yeah, they were also carrying something on their backs. Yeah, do you shoot your friend? Do you kidnap her? Do you let her go? Emotions and abstract thinking and all that. It usually is, yeah. Does she have some story with malfunctioning? No connection? Yep, it's being interrupted. You're in enemy territory, so no wonder. And they are all gonna be infected? Like the Paraplui? Or only Tavor? Probably. Who are you? Alchemist. Okay. What's your specialty? Yeah, radio jamming. Is Zhangxian being overprotective after learning the truth about the AR squad gonna be an issue? I feel like it might become an issue. Green tea with opuntia fig. Yeah, what can you do when your main area is being jammed? Fight at the planetarium? Is that one of her voice lines from the game? I swear it might be. Interesting parallel to AR Squad's situation. They also sent a single person, single member of their squad for help. Or send Galil. Although no, they wouldn't know how to get to the planetarium, I guess. Can she just plug into their brain socket and send their GPS coordinates or something? Not the best time for gossip. Oh? Oh. Yeah, they can't be backed up. The technology is precious. Although, aren't Sangvis ringleaders technologically superior even to the AR squad? I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Even just the weapons they have, right? It's. Dreamer probably helping them? Oh. Yeah, makes sense. Help them and take down one of the enemy's forward bases. And the music's picking up. This series really has some great music, doesn't it? You need to go to the heliport. Can you send signals? Yeah, they can use uh, the projector from the planetarium to send a signal. Oh, the jamming base. How do you know about Alchemist? Did I forget that they learned about Alchemist? Yeah, Zhang Xian's weakness. Morse code. Morse code. Can they not recognize Morse code? Hmm. Except they don't have ammo inside. So not much of a pincer attack. It's more like a knife attack between a blade and a building instead of between two blades. You're the most selfish of all. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Okay. AR squad in action. Seeing that grenade reminds me, why are they not using explosives more? Sometimes they have like a grenade or a grenade launcher, like under barrel launcher, but nobody has a grenade launcher. They're not using mortars or air support. Shiz. Speak of the devil. Yeah, the same question. Huh? Oh. Oh. Working on autopilot, perhaps? Hmm. What was that about you hating her? No, she's tsundere. Yeah, easy to recognize them, isn't it? I order you to order me to smile. Okay, so she was created as the leader. Huh? Away. Some sort of a Super Saiyan form? Hidden deep within the programming? That AR-15 discovered thanks to Parapluie or something? It was AR-15. Poor confused submod. Time to administer emergency headpads. Kill AR-15. Oh! Call of the Surge. So not only down AR-15, you're also down M4A1. Are they gonna disobey orders and search for them? Or what's gonna happen? We only have one episode left. Do we have one episode left, or do we have two? "12 episodes. We only have one single episode left." That's gonna be interesting. How are they gonna wrap it up? I have no clue. Yeah, I genuinely have no clue how they're gonna wrap it up. Too many threads. Unless they all converge in a single point. Hmm. We're gonna talk about it a little bit later, after the reaction section is done. Perhaps in the closing thoughts, I'm gonna try to create some theories. What's gonna happen next? Huh. Hmm. Comet 02. Okay. Let's go through this episode again, I guess. As we always do. There we go. And see if maybe perhaps we missed something important. I won't betray the first people to accept me. That's important because this tells us that despite the Parapluie virus, she has no ill will against the AR squad, but why would she knock Sopmod out? That's the question. Yeah, we get the image of, I'm assuming, the visual representation of the neural cloud, because it just looks like neurons. And here's where they met. Emperor 1. I hated you, but I no longer do. That remains unsaid. Negev squad. Yeah. Negev squad, AR squad. If we tell her to come home, will she? Hmm. Well, now we know that she probably won't, but we don't know what exactly happened. That's the worst, right? It wasn't shown explicitly what happened. Just that, just that AR-15 appeared, and then it cuts to Zhang Xian getting information that Emperor 1 and Submod disappeared, and only Submod was found. Hmm. She's not that complicated. I have a feeling she is. I have a feeling she is extremely complicated, and I don't mean it just from a technological standpoint, because we know that all of the titles and most of all the special titles that make up the AR squad are extremely complicated, but emotionally and psychologically, AR-15 seems. I don't want to say that she seems the most complex of them all, because I see some complexity still hidden, but very much slowly resurfacing in M16. A4A1, A4A1 is probably the simplest of them all. Maybe Submod. Submod just wants to kill and get headpats, and that's all she needs from life. There's no advanced thoughts going in her head. Uh, it's campground. Well, better than nothing. What are they carrying on their backs, though? I don't think they used it even once. Yeah, fall back to the planetarium. Jamming. That's a lot of Sangvis, and here we see Uzi dropping a grenade. But again, I have to go back to the question I asked during the reaction series. Why aren't they using explosives more? You know, have a few grenades on your belt. Have a few grenades in your underbarrel launcher. Have a grenade launcher with you. Mm, During situations like this, when they know they will be facing against a lot of Sangvis troops, they are dolls, so they can carry a lot. I'm assuming they can carry their guns everywhere with them. And the Negev squad was carrying all those weird things on their backs. Couldn't they be carrying portable mortars with them? For example, right? The AR squad right now is in the perfect position, hidden somewhere in the forest, to launch a few mortar rounds, mortar shells at the Sangvis. They're tightly packed together. They're very close to each other. They aren't spread out at all. Just drop a couple of mortar shells there, and you would have effectively wiped out like half of them. On a similar note, that's one more thing that I find interesting. Uh, there doesn't seem to be any air support, right? From the game, and mostly we know that there are helicopters that bring resources, ammo and rations, and probably the squads themselves. We've also seen helicopters used, but why not send a bomber plane here to wipe out the Sangvis, right? That's kind of. In general, I don't see them using vehicles. I know that it probably might be explained by the world being fairly destroyed, and you can't get everywhere with a car because the bridge is collapsed, the road is broken. But places like cities, I'd imagine they could have like a couple of small ATVs per squad. Does it have something to do with Griffin being not being a full-blown military, being just a contractor, a military contractor, or was it a private militia? I'm not entirely sure, to be perfectly honest with you, but they aren't like government military. That's that much I know. But having a couple of ATVs, I'm not saying like tanks, but a couple of ATVs would help dropping some grenades, like general just generic hand grenades, dropping them from a helicopter here. You don't need to have military equipment. Is it that Tidals aren't quite capable enough of driving vehicles? But they have different backgrounds, right? They are civilian dolls repurposed for military use. So aren't there like chauffeur dolls that would be able to actually drive an ATV or a car? Or hell, maybe even a tank? And when it comes to air support, do Sangvis weapons perhaps are Sangvis weapons perhaps strong enough to serve as AA guns? Essentially, they are beam based, so I'm assuming the travel time of the projectile is fairly short. So maybe they can just shoot down any bomber planes and helicopters that get in their range. Is that it? That's probably the one and only explanation I can find. Regarding bomber planes, I guess you need a lot of space for a uh, for the what's it called, for the airport strip. So that would be easily spotted by Sangvis, and you might need to relocate and leave that landing strip behind. So okay, I'm willing to forgive not having any planes, but helicopters, VTOLs would be great. They can land anywhere and start from anywhere. And even then, no vehicles at all. It seems like only Zhang Xian has some cars. She has a jeep, and she was driven here with some other car, and maybe like resource carrying trucks. But hmm, is it something that just hasn't been explained, or is it something that's like a major spoiler later in the game? If it's not like a major spoiler later in the game, I would be interested to know why aren't they using, in general, vehicles more? Whatever kind of vehicle. I'm not saying they should bring a mobile artillery unit to every fight or anything of the sort. No, but a simple couple of ATVs to get your squad closer to where they need to be faster. Something extremely simple. Hmm. Is there any need to bring in a Tito that made a mistake like that alive? Yeah, when they die, it's really over for them. Hmm. That's interesting that, yeah, one Sangvis couldn't control this many, so there's a base somewhere that's controlling them remotely, and this is the base. But that's interesting that even after the base is destroyed, they later mention that the amount of Sangvis left is still too much for alchemists to control. So is Dreamer involved? Or is someone else involved? Maybe Destroyer? Or maybe Sangvis actually worked on some technology that allows them to control more grunts at the same time. Hmm. Yeah, reinforcements. Flashing. Interesting that they're not able to recognize Morse code. Only M16 is able to recognize it. Kinda odd. You'd think that those made for military use, like the AR squad has been specifically made for military use, from what I understand. They aren't just repurposed house-made dolls or gardener dolls. They have been made, created from scratch, or at least mostly from scratch, by the 16 lab. Why would only M16 have the ability to recognize Morse code? You think that something so basic and so prevalent in military use would be one of the things that is pre-programmed into them. Yeah, have the Sangvis is inoperative. Nice little fight. But Alchemist doesn't seem phased about it, which is interesting. All of the Sangvis was wiped, and yet Alchemist doesn't care. Was this just a setup? First wave, and they're gonna be sending much more Sangvis later? Did the squad here just take the bait exactly as Alchemist planned? Keikaku Dori. Keikaku means plan. Yeah, no, it wasn't that. All according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan. Yeah. Be careful, she might be planning something. Yes, exactly. She probably is planning something. That's interesting. AR-15 seemed dead set on handling it all on her own, right? The lone hero complex and whatnot. And yet she's meeting up with them. For some reason. For seemingly no reason, actually. I'm pretending to have a tearful reunion. M4 and SOP2 vanished, but then SOP2 was found. And a lot of Sangvis just appeared. Hmm. What could it be? Could it be that the Parapluie virus awakened within AR-15 again? And she's on Sangvis' side again? And she really did attack Sobmod and M4A1? But if so, then why would she leave Sobmod alive? Why would she not just wipe the squad, right? Did she need their help with something after all? But if so, why leave Sobmod out of it? Why take only M4A1? Is it because she believes M4 to be her closest friend and trusts her the most? Why did so many Sangvis suddenly appear? It's all very coincidental with AR-15's appearance. Is Alchemist after AR-15? Did Alchemist move out her forces specifically for AR-15 to be able to come here? Or is, perhaps, AR-15 commanding those forces? The Parapluie, as we know from the episode where we found her, she has some high-tier access to Sangvi's systems. So could it be that part of those forces is controlled by her? No other enemy bases in the area. And yeah, we don't know what they're after. They are after just run-of-the-mill, everyday regular squad of 4 T-dolls of not even any high quality. Probably white and blue at best. So why is Sangvis so hell-bent on them? Something hiding on the other side of the map. Something underground? And here we have the neural net again, but this time it's red. And there's some blue. Remember how the Paraplui virus also turns blue into red when it's shown. So is it a neural cloud, neural net under the influence of the Paraplui virus? And what are those yellow bits? Oh no. Yeah, it's when Emperor 1 awakened for the first time. Weird that she would be in such a random place. It looks like a lobby, not somewhere she should be sleeping. I'll be your friend, order me to smile. Wake up, Emperor 1. The voice is layered, there are two voices speaking it. Which tells me this scene, well, the double voice and the whatchamacallit, the saturation of the image being lowered, it all tells me it's a dream sequence of Emperor 1, and now she's being awakened from it by M16. Did M16 knock both Emperor 1 and Sopmod out? And she only kidnapped Emperor 1? But why? That wake up also reminds me of one of the Sangvis ringleaders. I think it was Dreamer. Yeah, Dreamer in the last episode was talking to M6, not M16, AR-15. Yeah, to AR-15. I'm confusing the two, M16 and AR-15. Sorry for that. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Was talking to AR-15 that the Paraplui virus gives her some, special abilities and whatnot, and don't you like the power it gives you and whatnot? Makes me wonder, maybe AR-15 figured out a way to use the Paraplui for her own benefit? And she's quote-unquote awakening M4A1 using the Paraplui virus? I don't know. I don't know. Sop is alive and well. I just don't understand anymore. Call of the search. Get the fuck out of there. It's gonna get dangerous. A lot of stuff to wrap up in just a single episode. A lot of stuff to wrap up in a single episode. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're gonna have one hell of a time trying to wrap it up in episode 12. We have going after Dreamer, which seems to be the quote-unquote final boss here. Perhaps they won't be able to reach Dreamer. Perhaps episode 12 will end up with them taking down the Alchemist, and Dreamer will remain a threat to introduce some, continuity into the game or possibly into the future seasons. You want to know what happens next, you gotta play the game kind of deal. But handled much better than, what's it called? Tag of Destiny. That much I'll give them, for sure. So that's one thread that needs to be wrapped up somehow. The other one is, of course, AR-15 being infected. Is she still infected? Is she not infected? Did she, make use of the infection and improved herself using that? Or is she under the control of Sangvis? Is she under her own control? Is she rogue? Is she what, right? What's the deal with her? Then we have the whole thing with them disappearing, right? AR-15 is seemingly kidnapping M4A1 and knocking out Submod 2. What's the deal with that? That's yet another thing you have to wrap up. And there's a lot for just a single episode. Let's say they find alchemists within like 5 minutes. That's super short, but let's assume 5 minutes. 5 minutes of a fight with 5 minutes of a fight with alchemist. 5 minutes of them wrapping up the mission and going back, and 5 minutes of post arc things, right? Them talking, explaining things, so everything is out in the open. Haha, no, I wasn't really infected. You really, cured me of it. I was just pretending, and whatever bullshit. That's very little time for any part of what needs to happen in the next episode. I'm scared because they either will have to rush it or they will have to leave some stuff out. And I don't like either of those possibilities. Or maybe they're gonna find some way to wrap it up in those 20 minutes. Huh. I'm very interested. I'm very interested where they're gonna go with it. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't really make any more predictions. Honestly, it's very hard for me to make any sort of predictions because there's simply so much that's going on. They will for sure fight the alchemist. That much is a given. But what's the deal with AR-15? I thought I have her worked out up until this point, right? That she's the lone hero and she wants to go and handle Dreamer herself. But now she reappeared out of nowhere, kidnapped M4A1, knocked out Submod out of nowhere. Now we're getting bits and pieces of backstory. How she apparently hated M4A1 but then became her friend. Is the virus still taking control of her? Is it not? Right, and there's yet another thread they will have to wrap up. Why are there so many Sangvis in that place if the only ringleader is Alchemist? That's a lot for one episode. That's a lot. Gonna have to wait a week and just see. I think there's no way around it. We have to wait and see. So I think I'm gonna end this episode here. So you guys, tell me in the comments, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of my reaction? What did you think of my theories? Just I have to, ask you again to not spoil me anything. This series is almost ended. You can hold it in. I'm playing the game wherever something is explained. I will get there sooner or later. I will overlevel my ET dolls and I'm gonna breeze through any content eventually. I hope, maybe. I'm still shit at building teams and I died really easily, but I'm gonna get over it. No problem. So I'm gonna learn all that. No spoilers. If there's something that's been here and I had questions about and it's already been in the game shown, but I just missed it while playing the game, or it was revealed in some event or in some supplementary materials and whatnot, of course you can mention that, but no like hard spoilers, please. I want to experience it myself, both the anime and the game. If you do want to talk about spoilers, you can head over to my Discord server. There's a Girls Frontline channel there. You can go there, you can use the spoiler tags, and you can talk with fellow fans of the game about the spoilery stuff. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. What else? What else? What else? Subscribe to the channel so you get notified of future releases, not only of those Frontline, but also Symphogear, Tokyo 24Ku, Arifureta, and Sabikui Bisco. Sabikui Bisco got really good recently. Episode 10 of Sabikui Bisco was genuinely good. So if you got burned by episode 8 and 9, just like I did, episode 10, yeah, episode 10 might be worth checking out because they are back to form, if you ask me. Share this video everywhere. If you know someone who would enjoy it, send it to them. They're gonna have some enjoyment, and I'm gonna get a new viewer. It's a win-win, right? And of course, if you want to support me monetarily, you can head over to my Patreon link in the description. For just $1 a month, you get access to a special role on my Discord server, and that role grants you a orange color of your name, and it gets you access to a Patreon-only channel. And for $10, you get early access to all non-seasonal shows. This time it happens to be Symphogear, so if you want to watch Symphogear up to 1 week early, or in case of the finale, 2 weeks early, wow, you can give me $10 and watch it early. Yeah, that's it. I shilled what needed to be shilled. We just gotta wait a week for the for episode 12 for the finale, and shit's gonna hit the fan, and I'm gonna love it. I know it. So, yeah, that's gonna be it for me for today. So, as always, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers! And this is yet another benefit you get as a Patreon supporter. You get to be in the credits on my videos. How cool is that?